Oh, damn. We're in trouble now. So welcome back to another episode of We're in Trouble Now. And we are, unfortunately, we're going to start off this podcast with a little bit of reality. And the reality is our family had a difficult week. Mm-hmm. And when I say that, if you follow us at all on our social media platforms, you'll know that we have a dog. We had a dog. And Liberty was our 13-year-old pit bull who on Sunday afternoon took a turn for the worse. She, suddenly, kind of out of nowhere, had a little bit of a health emergency that we as a family decided it was in her best interest to help her across the Rainbow Bridge, and we lost our dog. Mm-hmm. So it's been a little bit of a hard emotional week.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like when I came in today and like you guys were out there.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, no, Robert came with me. I was like, okay, cool. I get to go say hi to Liberty. I was like, oh wait.
Yep.
Like, never mind. I got in. I was like, Liberty. I was like, oh wait, never mind.
Yeah.
It was so weird because like it's like if you go into a routine for so long,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, damn, okay, like I should be, it should all be the same in the routine, but it wasn't like that. I was like, oh.
Well, Liberty's been a part of for 13 years, right?
Yeah.
You were, 12 when we got her?
What? No.
I don't know how old you were.
I was 16.
You were 16. No.
Yeah, because I'm 29.
Were you?
Yeah.
And she's 13.
She has to be older, though. Because I remember you being like 9 with her.
No.
Maybe you're...
16.
Are you sure you're 29?
Yes.
All right.
You were driving when we got her?
No, I didn't drive until I was 18.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I didn't have a car, so there was no point for me to drive. I just walked everywhere.
You sure?
Yes.
All right.
I mean...
But yeah, no, I mean,
We got her in 2009.
Sure. That means all of your adult life, you knew Liberty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's easy. I mean, it's easy. I mean, she definitely left a big impact on all of us. So.
Mm-hmm. The coolest thing, though, not the coolest thing, but the doctor that took care of us and took care of Liberty was so fucking cool. Like, so nice.
Was it a boy or a girl?
It was a girl.
Yeah.
She was a lady.
She was super sympathetic, and she's just like, yeah, she was just super sympathetic.
It'd be a hard job.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was telling Robert that, in a position like that, because she's an emergency vet doctor, so she just sees pets that are in, they have emergency medical needs. And to me, it would be really easy to get kind of like just a little bit of jaded, I guess, because you just constantly see pets that are being hurt. And yet she was completely compassionate, and I felt like she was 100% present.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Brendan?
I'll look at it after. But yeah, no.
No, please, freak everyone out.
Sorry, no, I was just looking at the outlet, and it looks like there's a spider, but I don't think there's a spider.
That's not an outlet, but okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the cable thing.
How long have you... What?
Never mind.
Well, he's sitting in a new position, so now he has a different view.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. No, but
no, please stare at other random things.
Oh, okay.
And pretend they're other things.
Okay.
Do you guys... What? Continue.
No, what?
Nothing.
No.
It's nice to be back. That's all I'm going to say.
No, what were you going to say?
Don't think for a second I didn't notice that you said addition on the previous episode. And don't think for a second I don't think of all the things you guys said. Because I heard that podcast on the plane.
Well, I try to make it as friendly as possible.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, no, Brandon was a little worried about our best friend game for Robert.
Yeah.
And to me, it was super funny because we would ask a question.
Hodor, huh, motherfuckers?
Yeah. I'm just saying, dude.
Well, you do kind of act like Hodor.
You know that I was on the plane and I heard that part and I gave the dirtiest look to the seat in front of me because I'm like, those motherfuckers.
But you can't tell me that you're not Hodor. I said either
you think I'm Hodor
or the mountain. I said the mountain.
No, he's straight Hodor.
Yeah, but I heard the podcast. Who are you backpedaling?
Did I not say the mountain?
You were like,
you started squirming, Brand.
Yeah.
I love you dearly, but every time we would give an answer, you'd be like, he's gonna kill us.
Well, yeah, I was like, I don't want to just shit talk him when he's not here. I'll do it when he's here.
Oh no, that's what happens when you leave the room. He left. That's what happens.
Well, you look like Hodor.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the whole thing, like, you know, when you're a kid and you go over to a slumber party and they always say, don't be the first person to fall asleep because you're going to have, somebody's going to draw a
That
mustache
does not
on you.
make me a giant who only has one word.
But he's pretty packed.
You described me as a simple giant.
You
but he's
are
packed.
simple giant.
Yeah.
But he's packed.
Okay. In what
Like
way?
what way?
He's packing.
I don't. What you mean, like a wiener?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. It's
How
weird
do
that
you
of
know
all.
that?
Did you guys not see the episode of Game of Thrones?
Yes. No, Brandon. Okay, Brandon.
There was
Can
there
we
was
please
Hodor dog?
avoid
There was Hodor
talking about the
Really?
6'7" giant wiener? Okay.
How
So
come I don't remember that part of the Game of Thrones?
I guess you don't look at things like we do.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that series.
Please don't.
God, Lord, shoot me. Anyway, but yeah, no, I mean, losing Liberty is, you know, it's a big toll on all of us, and you know, she meant a lot to every single one. So
Yeah.
she will be missed. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and it's come, you know, and here's where I kind of struggle with, because it's like, you know, I'm grappling with it every single day. And it's like, today's the first day that we got rid of some of her stuff. And it's such a dilemma, because it's like, at what point do you let go of some of the physical parts that you know, that remind us of her? But sometimes it's like, when you hold on to those physical things, it only ends up hurting you more. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
And all because you get rid of them doesn't mean that you don't care for her either, like less or more. It just means that you're trying to get yourself into a mental state of healing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sympathetic to holding on to things. So, I mean, I don't really have an opinion on that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously there's some things that are like, you know, we're keeping her collar, but I don't think we needed to keep the toys or the bed
No.
or her bowl, you know, because it doesn't do anybody any good.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
felt like, if, you know, because she passed away Sunday night, and I just kind of felt like, if first thing Monday morning, if I had to sat there and cleared the house of her, it would have just, I don't know. It's like, so I guess there's no right and there's no wrong.
I was gonna say there's no right or wrong way to grieve.
No.
But you know what's kind of funny is I was holding on to those things, Robert, because I thought you wanted them.
No, I mean, see, that's Natasha was saying the same thing. She was like, "Are you going to hold on to like anything?" I said, "No, you know, I'm not. I don't think our family is the kind of family to like keep things as a memento or a keepsake. We usually just tattoo our sadness on us."
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm going to get tattooed for Liberty on Saturday, and that's my way of, you know, that'll be my memento that I hold on to. I don't need a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's why I preemptively did it when I was doing my finger tattoos.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. And I'm doing, I'll be getting mine in July for her. But yeah, no, it's just, and I did a YouTube also, because it's like, grief is grief and pain is pain. And, you know, sometimes I think I try to overanalyze it. Sometimes I know people try to put labels on it, but I mean, just at the end of the day, we're all we're all sad.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we all hurt in our own different ways. And
Yep. We all grieve differently. We all go through things differently.
yeah.
I listened to music, got a good cry, and that was it.
Yeah. So now, I mean, as a mom, I'm just really hoping that, you know, with each and every passing day, that we can heal a little bit more and just, you know, and just heal.
There you go.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And because you know what? She was one good dog. I mean, shit, she saw me through addiction. She saw me through sobriety. She saw me through losing my parents. I mean,
Well,
she was always there.
been through it all.
Yeah. So, okay. So we got that out of the way, and we had a tough week. Is there anything that we can say that was a positive for this week? I mean, I know maybe if it's really tiny or something like that. I mean, do you guys have anything positive to say?
I was the best man at my best friend's wedding.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that went well?
Went really well. I
Good.
cried during the reception.
I thought you cried during the wedding.
Isn't that what the reception was?
No, you have the wedding.
Oh, I
and
cried
then-
during the ceremony.
There you go. You
Yeah.
cried.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause it was-
yeah. You
it was
don't
just
want to
really
be that
cool.
guy crying at the
No,
reception.
yeah, I mean, like, because, you know, when she came out, and I was so overwhelmingly happy for X, you know, because he's been my best friend forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really cool to see him end up with somebody who's equally as perfect as he is. And it was just cool. It's like, there is happy endings. But
Right.
yeah, no, it was fun. I had a good time.
Do you want to tell Brendan and the world about her son?
Oh, Logan. So
Who's son?
Brandy has 3 kids, right?
Oh,
It's
nice.
Corey, Riley, and Logan. Logan's 5 turning 6.
Okay.
It's really important that you know that part because he likes to remind everybody that he's 5 turning 6. And so I meet him Tuesday. I land Tuesday. I meet him Tuesday night, and he's a huge Sonic fan.
Okay.
And so I see him, and he goes, oh, Dr. Eggman, because I look like Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And he goes, Dr. Eggman. And instantly, like, I'm this kid's best friend. He literally will not stop talking to me, and he will not stop like being like within arm's reach of me. Like he was my shadow for 5 or 6 days, however long I was there. And we would be at the reception dinner, and he would just literally follow me around, and he'd be like hanging on to me, and I'd put him on my shoulders, and like best friend. I'm this kid's best friend, and people are like, oh, like. You must be super cool with kids. Like, you must love kids. I'm like, I don't know, man. I've never even held a kid. Like, the closest kid I've talked to was like 12, and they're like, that's not a kid. I'm like, well,
Don't talk to fucking
yeah. But so I was this kid's best friend for a long time. Although unfortunately, I got called at the wedding about Liberty's health failing, and so I was kind of in a, it was really sad, and I just wanted to get out of there. And Logan was, I was giving Logan a hug, and he was like, he kind of like attacked me. So I kind of attacked him back, and I accidentally like pushed him. Not like, I was like, and I forgot that he's, 30 pounds, and I accidentally knocked him down, and he was like, you pushed me. I was like, I'm sorry, buddy.
Aww.
He's like, it's okay. So.
Did you like tell him the reasoning, or did you just
No,
not tell him?
Only Elizabeth, my friend Elizabeth over there in Gawkey knows. Just because, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It's X's, this is his special day, and I want to be like, dude, my dog died kind of thing. And so I thankfully the wedding was like over 30 minutes after.
That was that was a tough call for Brendan and I. We really didn't.
I'm glad you made the call, because I would have been really upset if I had a good night and not knowing that you guys were going through what is like one of the worst scenarios we've all feared.
Yeah. And I was against calling you.
I know. And you said that, but I'm glad that you did, so like the wedding was over at 10. I think you called me at like 9. I cried for like 30 minutes, I messaged Natasha, and then I went back and I put on my big boy voice, and I was like, all right, guys, thanks for everything. And then drove home with Elizabeth, and, then she ended up being put down while I was in the hotel room.
Yeah.
I only slept like an hour that whole night.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, to me, it's like, I took, I was just trying to put myself into your shoes.
Yeah. I would have been really upset if I hadn't.
And truthfully, I even told the doctor, we weren't going to make a decision unless it was a unanimous decision, because we're a family.
Yep.
And, and this is just the way we roll.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate that we had to call you, but
bad timing, but I'm glad that you did. I caught the boutonniere thing at the wedding too.
That, you know what that means, right?
Yeah, it's like the girl's version of the bouquet.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get married?
Yeah, you want to get married with me?
I'm down.
Okay. Maybe brother wives.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. So I caught that, and then there was like this tradition where you had to dance with the girl who caught the bouquet, and I didn't know that, and so I tried giving the corsage thing back, and I was like, guys, listen, they didn't me. It's not me. And they're like, no, you have to dance. And so they put the music on. It's the YMCA.
Of course it is.
And I'm like, oh, God. And so I'm trying to run around. I'm trying to get the crowd all hyped in. I'm like, come on, guys, join us, because I don't want to dance.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, come on, guys. Nobody's coming in. X is just looking at me laughing.
Dude, because he knows you're panicking.
Like, you motherfucker. Yeah. I gave this killer speech. Speech was amazing. I killed it. I winged it. I literally had nothing planned. I walked in, given the speech. Logan comes up. He sits on my knee.
Yeah.
Hearts are melting.
Yeah.
Killing it. Didn't care. Could not care one bit about the speech. It was the easiest thing ever. Dancing. I'm stress sweating.
Dude.
There's a little bit of pee came out. Hated it. Hated it. So I ran around the circle as this girl was trying to chase me for like 3 or 4 minutes, whatever, however long the YMCA is.
She was trying to chase you?
She was trying to dance, and I was like,
damn.
No, I ain't dancing with no women.
I ain't fucking touching you, lady.
I ain't touching no other women.
Here's the thought, Robert, and it's your thought, and it's your call, of course, but maybe one day tell X to maybe give Logan a message that
I don't think he's 5. I don't think he'll remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't like sad that you pushed him or
no. Well, it was interesting too, because during the reception or during the rehearsal dinner, Logan is literally stuck to me. Like, I cannot get this kid off. And he was talking to me with glue, and Brandy kind of pulls me aside. She's like, "Hey, listen, thank you." And I was like, "For what?" She was like, "Thank you for being friends with Logan." I was like, "Yeah, no worries. I love the kid." And she was like, "Well, you don't understand. I don't want to go into like, I'm not going to divulge information."
Yeah.
She told me privately, but Logan has, some, I don't want to say issues, but he's had a hard life. And she was like, "It's just really nice to see him smile and laugh and things like that." And I was like, "Hey, listen, no better way for a 5-year-old to enjoy it than an equally older 5-year-old."
Yeah.
It's true.
So I still think boobies is funny and poop and
Hilarious.
so
Duty.
Yeah.
duty is hilarious.
Duty
Yeah.
is
So
hilarious.
it was a fun trip with a very unfortunate twist ending, but
Yeah.
I'm happy I went there, and I'm happy I'm back.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you have any
Any
good things?
Well, a friend from high school found me on Twitch.
Yeah. Who was
Yeah.
that?
Kayla.
I just kicked my fucking tattoo.
Really?
You guys remember who she was?
Kayla
Uh-huh.
Casera?
Kayla Carrera.
Why does that sound familiar?
Because she was an ex. She was an ex in high school. And we kind of had things happen. I'm not going to say it, but she found me back on Twitch.
Yeah.
And she's actually married out of the country. And I was just like, holy
What
shit.
country?
I don't know. Didn't ask. Sorry, not out of the country, out of the state. And
Those
my
are two
bad.
fucking completely different things.
Just shut up.
She's not in California.
No, she's not in California. So I was just like, that's crazy. It's just it was just cool to kind of talk to her again. Because, it's high school. I know shit's. Things happen.
You're
Which
always
I'm-
very hard on yourself.
What do you mean?
You're always like, oh, I did this and I did
I didn't
that.
do anything.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this was not my fault.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, this one was not my fucking fault. So, it's more of just it was a high school. I don't forgive her. I forget
Yeah.
it. I'll be
Yeah.
nice to her. Like, she's really cool. It's just
You
kind
follow
of.
her on Instagram?
No.
Oh.
And
To
it's-
Brett
yeah.
Roberts.
no,
What?
dude.
I'm interested.
I don't follow her in any social media, but she found me on Twitch, and I was just like, that's so crazy. So it's just kind of cool just to kind of just talk to her,
That's
because
cool.
it's been a while since I talked to her. It's been quite some time before I talked to her, but it was just a blast from the past. And I think it doesn't matter that it's her. It's cool that it was from my past.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's it. She's just been real nice, and it's funny. And I'm just like, damn, dude, I can't believe this is her.
That's cool.
But she found me out of nowhere.
There you go.
So how about yourself?
I got a new duvet cover.
What the fuck is a duvet?
A duvet, for those of you who don't live in England, it's like a big blankie.
What it
It's
is
like the comforter.
it's
It's like a fancy comforter
well,
Why just fucking say that?
because it's not English.
But it
well,
is English.
because I have a comforter. I have a feathered comforter, and a duvet is the cover that goes over it. So you don't get a new bedspread. It's like I have the innards, and then I got a new cover for the innards for my bedspread.
It's like, the weighted blanket you got?
Yes.
You know how there's the weighted thing, and then there's the thing that goes around the weighted thing?
Yeah, the
that-
entire blanket itself.
Yeah, that's basically what a duvet is.
A duvet is a a sheet.
It's basically like a sheet. It's a sheet that goes on top of your comforter.
Why do you get a sheet on top of your comforter?
because comforters are really super expensive, and so
Comforter blankets.
Yes.
The big blankets.
Yeah.
the thing
Why
that,
do you get a blanket over a blanket?
Well, so Natasha has one, and she lives in where it snows, and so it's a way to keep warm.
Why not just get another blanket?
so anyway,
Some
it's
people
like
don't
it's
want
like
another
a,
blanket,
it's
Brandon.
like
Some
a
people
bed,
want a big blanket.
It's like a comforter.
I cannot believe that you're struggling this hard. It's a big ass blanket.
I understand this,
Okay.
but why to get a big ass blanket over something that's already going to keep
No,
you?
it's like a pillowcase. It's like a pillowcase.
So you're putting
over
yourself in a sleeping bag on side.
No, Brandon.
So
Mother of God.
so what
Listen
what
to
I'm
what
hearing,
we were
so what I'm
saying.
hearing. So what am I hearing is that
Stop,
this
stop,
thing.
don't-
Yeah,
so-
stop tapping.
So what I'm hearing
Okay.
is you put the comforter inside a slumber bag.
No.
No.
None of that was right.
Nope.
No. At no point did anybody say sleeping bag.
You guys said it
You
was
said
the-
slumber
it's the-
bag, by the way.
I don't care.
Okay.
It said the innards.
Yes.
So
It's
the
like a
comforter,
pillowcase.
So the comforter is said pillow.
No.
The duvet
No.
is the pillowcase.
Basically.
Technically, yeah.
There. That's all I need to know.
Fuck
Yes.
me.
Dude.
So I got a new cover for my comforter.
Yeah, duvet.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I got a
I did
duvet.
not miss this part.
And you know what? The whole thing is like you're always yelling at Brandon for getting warm, and apparently Brandon's making you hot because you just took off your
I
jacket.
took it off before Brandon went down this very irritating side road.
Maybe just be more clear on what you guys are saying.
So anyway, I got a new duvet set because I just, sometimes when I'm sad, I just want a new change, and I did that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I moved my bed into the front room.
You know what? That is something that you've done since you were a kid.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something I always did.
Yeah.
I slept on the floor for like 2-3 days, and I was like, I'm just gonna move my mattress into the front room.
Well, I was texting Natasha, and I was like, I never realized how big my bed was, because Liberty, I would lay in my spot, and Liberty had the rest of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I slept on her side of the bed, she would nudge me until I got into my side, and then she would sleep on top of me. So I never realized how big my bed was until I texted her last night. I never really realized it until last night.
I never really realized how big of a bed hog Liberty was until I tried to get out of bed one time, and she was, you know how sometimes like your t-shirt, she was sleeping on my t-shirt. So I'm like trying to get out of bed. It's like,
Well, she would fall asleep with her head on my chest, and then if I made any movements, she would go, she'd exhale really loud as to like, dude.
yeah.
Dude, see, Pam's like that because she sleeps between my legs, and
Yeah.
then if I move, her head pops up, and she just gives me this glare.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, "What the fuck you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm sorry."
Who
I'm so
told
sorry."
you could move?
Pretty much. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm not. I just gotta go somewhere." And she fucking just death stares me.
Like, I just gotta pee.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. She just death stares me. She's been really fucking clingy lately.
I don't know. Maybe she senses that you're sad.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because like she always like sits on my lap now, and she meows at me a lot more.
So let me ask you this, Brendan. I mean, I know that we've had dinner and, we're doing our podcast. What do you think you're going to be like putting your bed back into your bedroom and
Eventually.
healing a little bit?
Yeah. No. Eventually.
I mean, you really have no rhyme or reason not to. Or like do whatever you want.
That's what I'm saying. That's like I'm just kind of enjoying just kind of having my my bed out in the front room and just chill there.
Okay.
It's just nice. I wake up and then just turn on the coffee that way.
There you go.
yeah.
Something different.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we are going to jump into our chapter.
Mhm.
We are on chapter 8, and it's Robert's week to lead the chapter discussion. So I will leave it up to you, sir.
Great.
What?
So nothing. I didn't say a word. So we are on chapter 8. Now I did not resonate very well with this chapter. I thought it was. I felt like he was feeling the page. Really, honestly, he starts off the first couple of pages with an example regarding animal habits and more so of like it had to do a lot with like not I don't say infants but babies or nursing stages.
How they're imprinted, kind of, or
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so for example, at the very beginning, right, he talks about a Dutch scientist named Nico Tingbird. I don't know, it's probably not right, but anyway, he says that he was examining these adult herring gulls, and they would have a small red dot in their beak, and he noticed that newly hatched chicks would peck this spot whenever they wanted food. To begin one experiment, he created a collection of fake cardboard beaks, just a head without a body. When the parents had flown away, he went over to the nest, offered these dummy beaks to the chicks. The chicks were obvious, or the beaks were obvious fakes, and he assumed the baby birds would reject them altogether. However, when the tiny gull saw the red spot on the cardboard beak, they pecked away just as if it was attached to their own mother. And so he has instances with that. He also does an instance regarding, I believe it was a goose with an egg. If there was like a white sphere-like object, the goose would think it's an egg and then actually bring it into its nest and like sit on it in order to hatch and incubate it, because the goose lays it like almost on a hill. Mm-hmm. So sometimes eggs roll down. So instinctively, they always associate any white spherical object as an egg. And so the goose instinctively will take it and put it back under their nest and try to get it to hatch.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or not, but do you think instincts truly are habits?
No. Well, I would say no, because I think a habit, and I think James Clear would disagree, but a habit is something that you consciously make. It could be a negative or positive, but there is some sort of influence in it. Mm-hmm. Whereas an evolutionary trait, I think it's so instinctive that most of the time I don't think the animals know what's going on.
See, I don't think an instinct is a habit at all.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would argue, I would agree with you.
Okay.
And it says, he makes this comparison right here on page 102 in the middle. He says, it's like the brain of each animal is preloaded with certain rules for behavior. And when it comes across an exaggerated version of that rule, it lights up like a Christmas tree. Scientists refer to this exaggerated cues as supernormal stimuli. A supernormal stimuli is a heightened version of reality, like a beak with 3 red dots or an egg the size of a volleyball, and it elicits a stronger response than usual. Humans are also prone to fall for exaggerated versions of reality. Junk food, for example, drives our reward system into a frenzy. After spending hundreds of thousands of years hunting and foraging for food in the wild, the human brain has evolved to place high value on salt, sugar, and fat. Such foods are often calorie dense, and they were quite rare when our ancient ancestors were roaming the savannah. When you don't know when your next meal is coming from, eating as much as possible is an excellent strategy for survival. So basically, the whole study, right, was the beaks and the eggs. They kind of over exaggerated things. So, for example, the one cardboard beak, they put 3 red dots instead of 1, and the little chicks went crazy, and they were tapping it all. The goose, they used a big volleyball instead of like a small billiard ball, and the goose went crazy. So he's likening that sort of exaggerated, over the top behavior with
like junk food.
Junk food, You see what we're getting at?
So it's basically that the junk food overstimulates the brain.
But how? It's just...
Sure. So he makes the example, and he actually says it right there on the thing I just read. But the human brain for so many years, I think he said it was 50,000 years, has been trained, and the instinct is to load up on as rich and sugar-based, calorie-dense fat as possible, because before the modern age, right, humans had to hunt and gather. Yeah. They didn't know when their next meal was, so they would eat as much of the salt and fat and protein and sugar as they could in order to sustain. And it's really hard to shake a evolutionary trait like that. And so what he's saying is that food brand companies have basically, they've acknowledged that, and they've actually done a lot of research and a lot of product placement tests and stuff like that to trick our brains into like wanting that kind of junk food, because our brains crave that kind of high sugar, high calorie food. Because
when we were foraging for food, we didn't know when the next meal would be. So
or our next day was.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And he mentions it right over here on the second page, 103 towards the middle. He says, other processed foods enhance dynamic contrast, which refers to items with combination of sensations, like crunchy and creamy. Imagine the gooiness of melted cheese on top of a crispy pizza crust, or the crust of an Oreo cookie combined with its smooth center. With natural unprocessed foods, you tend to experience the same sensation over and over. How's that 17th bite of kale taste? After a few minutes, your brain loses interest and you begin to feel full. But foods that are high in dynamic contrast keep the experience novel and interesting, encouraging you to eat more. Now, I highlighted that part because he had mentioned the Oreo, and it kind of touches on what he talks about a little bit later, but it's called the dopamine kick. And basically, they've done research, and it says that it's almost like physically impossible to have one Oreo. So the chemical reaction that your brain releases when you have an Oreo is similar to like taking cocaine. You almost crave a second Oreo or a third Oreo. It's like the chances of you only having one is very, very rare. You have to have more than one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all about a satisfaction-based idea.
Yeah. It's the brain releasing the dopamine because it received the sugar and fats and things like that it's been hardwired into our brains.
So you're basically, your brain is like, this is good and I want more.
Yeah, your brain's like, I need this to survive kind of thing. Yeah, this is so good, I need it kind of thing. Like also too, but companies know that. They know that your brain is like, please, more, more. And so they promote it and they advertise it, so like more and more and more.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, I was going to say, it was one thing I found interesting is like how much of a scientific, how food is presented to us as a society. Mm-hmm. Because like he's even saying, I mean, they have divisions and teams on how to be like, how is the most maximum benefit can we get out of this one French fry?
Yeah, exactly. The crispy to the soft gooey factor. Everything
just
is
the right
structured.
Amount of salt to just this. It's like almost like you said, Robert. The food companies take this primal desire for salt and sugar and fat, and they're like, okay, it's like making a Terminator.
Kinda, yeah, a very fat, chunky Terminator.
Yeah,
but sorry, continue.
No, but that's just what they do, and knowing that they do that, it just kind of makes you be like, the next time you go out or you're going to go to a fast food restaurant, you're gonna be like, this is genetically engineered for me to want this.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to think about it like a Pizookie, right?
Yeah,
a Pizookie over at BJ's, it's at chocolate chip or
Oh,
any,
yeah.
dude, with ice cream on it. It's like, they give you such a, like, damn, dude, I remember how good this is once. Let me
Yeah.
get it again.
Well, that's your brain over years, or, hundreds of thousands, or, I would say tens of thousands of years of evolution,
Yeah.
craving that sort of substance because it's what the body craves.
Yeah.
And food companies know that kind of stuff. And so they absolutely market to that kind of vulnerability.
That's a good point.
What's up?
No, sorry.
Like he was saying on the page before, right? He was saying that nobody's excited to eat kale. The first bite of kale and the 17th bite of kale are going to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Your brain isn't as super ecstatic as it would be to eating a Pizookie or eating an Oreo.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else to say?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, like, it's kind of like how if you make cookies or bake cookies, you
Yeah.
can't just do one single
Yeah,
cookie.
it's
You have
that
to do
dopamine release.
a dozen
Mhm.
cookies or even 6 of them.
Yeah.
I do a dozen.
Yeah, so he compares the food and like the release of dopamines and just the like super subconscious instinct to
Animal
making
instincts.
animal instincts into making habit forming over here on page 104 at the very top.
Yeah, but see, that's where I draw the...
I was a little conflicted in this whole chapter, but
Okay,
he
just keep going.
makes a couple of interesting points. He says the modern food industry and the overeating habits it has spawned is just one example of the second law of behavior change. Make it attractive. The more attractive an opportunity is, the more likely it is to be a habit forming. So basically what he's likening to is like the more sexier you make this habit, the easier it is for you to follow through with it.
So he basically wants you to genetically engineer a habit.
Yeah, not so much that it's more of a, I wouldn't say genetically engineered. You're trying to like restructure in a way that's going to make you want to do this thing.
So
to
you
do
have
this behavior.
to make it so your brain releases dopamine with a habit?
Not so much. I think what you do is you have to kind of trick your brain into thinking that something that you want to do is something that's good for you.
Yeah.
He says, look around. Society is filled with highly engineered versions of reality that are more attractive than the world our ancestors evolved in. Stores feature mannequins with exaggerated hips and breasts to sell clothes. Social media delivers more likes and praise in a few minutes than we could ever get in the office or at home. Online porn splices together stimulating scenes at a rate that would be impossible to replicate in real life, except for Brandon.
Well, I
What?
don't know what kind of porn that guy's watching,
my
but I
fault.
mean, is he watching like super? I don't know.
I don't know. He didn't go into detail about his porn. I think of all the examples that I kind of touched on, I think we can gloss over the porn part because as much fun as that is talking with that in front of mom.
Continue.
It says advertisements are created with a combination of ideal lighting, professional makeup, and photoshopped edits. Even the model doesn't look like the person in the final image. These are the supernatural stimuli of our modern world, the exaggerated features that are naturally attractive to us, and our instincts go wild as a result, driving us into excessive shopping habits, social media habits, porn habits, eating habits, and many others. So basically what it's saying is like that desire, that animalistic desire is going to make you want something. And so that's basically is like this whole premise of the chapter is to trick your brain into like wanting this sort of habit forming idea.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that's a healthy way to form habits.
Yeah, because I mean, you can get too like divulged into it,
Mhm.
and then it becomes like the wrong thing you're trying to do.
Yeah. And it's rather interesting too. And here's the part where he lost me, right? It's in the paragraph below. It says, if history serves as a guide, the opportunities of the future will be more attractive than those of today. The trend is more rewarded. It says the trend is for rewards to be more concentrated and stimuli to be more enticing. Junk food is more concentrated from a form of calories than natural foods. Hard liquor is a more concentrated form of alcohol than beer. Video games are a more concentrated form of play than board games. Compared to nature, these pleasures-packed experiences are hard to resist. We have the brains of our ancestors, but temptations they have never had to face. But I feel like that's very subjective.
Your book, you're like,
Oh, sorry.
that's okay.
I feel like that's very subjective, right? So it's, I mean, like obviously we have more stimuli, right? But we're also in a day and age where we have the pleasure of partaking in those stimuli. We don't have to worry about foraging for food. We don't have to worry about shelter. We don't have to worry about predators. We live in an age in which the the means are much more easier. So we have that ability to indulge. We have that ability to, partake in porn or food or
See,
food
because
porn.
I think like I think like you growing up more with like video games,
Yeah.
you're more easily able to adapt with them
Sure.
than I was, because I didn't have video
That's
games.
understandable.
But you know what? The way he's kind of making it like if you just took a cave person and you dropped him in today's society, you've evolved. I mean, we are evolving.
Yeah.
As humans, we are still evolving. We might have our primal instincts, but we are evolving.
But isn't it crazy though? Like, say we don't have to worry about animals or giant dinosaurs. The only thing that we really have to worry about are other people.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, like it's not like the one enemy turned into another enemy. It's like, it's not we're because we can like kill any animal. Like, that's the thing, But the thing is that instead of being, it's a whole different kind of hunting scheme with now other people, because now there's other like just different ways that they can just attack other people.
What world do you live in?
Dude, no, I was just thinking, because like cyberbullying and shit and just being mean to others,
Sure.
like that's what I'm talking about. Or
Yeah.
like, oh, if you guys bought, like, say if a Neanderthal came back here and he wouldn't be worrying about the
I get
people,
where you're
because
going.
the people is that's where they all come together and they go against the dinosaur. But now that the Neanderthal is here, he's going to have to be worried about the people, because the people are
See,
mean.
because
I just want to point out for the record that Neanderthals and dinosaurs did not exist on this planet at the same time.
Woolly mammoths.
There you go.
because
That's
like
what
when
Well, there's
the-
probably there were saber-toothed tigers.
yeah,
Sure.
because
That's
the
what I'm
cave,
saying.
the
Okay,
cave.
those are not dinosaurs.
Did I say dinosaurs?
You
Yeah.
used many times, actually.
No, I meant woolly mammoths
woolly
and
mammoths.
saber-tooth.
Oh,
Yeah.
woolly mammoths and saber
Because I mean the
alligators.
the
And
cave,
alligators.
yeah, the cave people had to worry about saber-toothed tigers, but you all have to defend yourself against cyberbullying.
Or just people in general. Just
Okay.
like people in general. People have become the new monster.
I understand that,
But
but
people have
I
always
do
been
not
that way.
think cyberbullying and then being attacked by a woolly mammoth could be compared.
Yes, I can.
You can.
I would kick a woolly mammoth.
Okay. Boom. Teleport. You're in the year 1800. There are
Are you
woolly
sure it was in the
mammoths.
1800s?
There are woolly mammoths everywhere. Go. How do you defend yourself?
Hey, bitch. He'll be like, huh? And I'll just be like, yeah, you. Huh? And I'll just be like, fuck off.
Okay.
He'll be like,
So, just so we know that you just compared fighting off a woolly mammoth to cyberbullying, you decided to cyberbully a woolly mammoth.
there you go.
Okay.
My point has now been intertwined into one.
Okay. Also, too, your woolly mammoth sounded a lot like Scooby Doo.
It wasn't. It was a big woolly mammoth.
Okay. So, do the woolly mammoth sound again. Okay. Give me Scooby Doo.
Raggy.
Okay. Great.
Totally different.
Totally different. You're
Totally
right.
different, right?
Totally different.
Or if I was going into a battle phase,
Okay.
I would blend in with the snow.
The snow.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
They
that's
were in
why
the
they're
snow, right?
woolly, because it's cold.
Great.
Yeah.
Even
so-
though the woolly mammoths were like in Egypt at the time, but sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
really?
cold in
Yeah.
Egypt back then.
What was it?
Yeah,
It
because
was
that's why
probably-
they're woolly. Otherwise, they would be like naked.
Probably
Well,
wasn't.
they don't shed their fur based on their like geographical location.
Yes.
So if they
do.
were okay, so if they shed their fur and they were in Africa, would they just be mammoths?
Yes.
Well, woolly mammoth is one thing.
Yeah, a
Okay.
woolly mammoth is one thing. Just a mammoth is just an elephant with big tusks.
Nope, completely different. Completely different, actually.
Yeah.
They have that
Anyways.
extra hump, right?
Well, that's not a camel. That's a camel, Mom.
No, a woolly mammoth has a head
Okay.
and then a lump.
I think you're thinking of Manny from Ice Age, who had like a top hat. He had a what's the style of hair he had?
A pompadour?
Pompadour.
Okay, so go ahead, Brandon.
What was I doing?
You're defending yourself against a woolly mammoth by cyberbullying it.
Well, no.
Because he's in the snow.
See, what I would do is I would elaborate a giant hole.
You would elaborate?
Yeah, well, I got to come up with the idea. So I'd do it. So I'd elaborate. So I'd make a hole, right?
You would make a hole.
I'd make a
So
hole.
we're out of the planning phase.
Yeah, so I would dig a hole.
Would it
There you
be, but would it be an elaborate hole?
It would be the
holiest hole?
shape. It would be the shape of a woolly mammoth.
You would have the shape of a woolly
Yeah,
mammoth.
so it can just fit straight right through.
Like if it fell on its side?
No, like
or,
just go straight through.
So a hole.
Yeah, but the shape of a woolly mammoth.
Okay.
Because if it was a hole and his tusks got like stuck on top,
Yeah.
he would just get out.
Would it be easier just to make a big hole, except Because you'd have to get the size and dimensions of the woolly mammoth.
Yeah, I'd already have that.
You would already have that?
I come from the future.
Oh, okay. It's my bad.
I think I know this.
Yeah, you know, there's on your iPhones, there's like a tape measure.
See,
So
I
he
don't
just
think I can
be
get
like,
that close. I don't think I can get that close just yet. But what I would do is I would make a hole, the shape of a woolly mammoth. I'd put sticks at the bottom of it.
Aw,
Okay.
Why?
I'm just saying.
How deep is the hole?
5 feet.
Your hole's 5 feet?
Yes.
You realize that the woolly mammoth is higher than that.
Yeah, but if the sticks go through its feet, it's going to be stuck. And then I come by and, hi!
With what?
Another stick
It's gonna poke the mammoth.
So,
in the face.
so just so we know,
Yes.
the mammoth had fallen down the 5-foot hole, so it is up to its knees and has full mobility of every other body part other than its feet that are stuck to sticks.
The only thing that's an issue is the face.
Yeah.
Don't you think it'd be easier if you just dug a deeper hole?
It takes too much time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want?
A deeper hole.
Okay, so are we done mammoth hunting?
You okay with that
Yeah,
scenario?
I'm fine.
Okay. How the fuck did we even get to this subject?
It's his fault.
No, because you guys, because I
don't-
was saying that.
Oh, you were talking about the Neanderthals
Neanderthals-
fighting dinosaurs.
No, the dinosaurs were already dead by then.
Oh my God.
Stick with the program.
Yeah, Robert.
Motherfuckers.
I can't believe you said dinosaurs this
Okay.
entire time.
So he continues on by referencing the dopamine driven feedback loop. Now, this is the part that I kind of resonated with the Oreos, because the Oreo, you can't just have just one.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's talking about scientists who had blocked the dopamine receptors in lab rats. You okay?
Yeah, it really upset me how they talked about experimenting on animals, by the way.
You realize they do that still.
I really
And like
upsets me.
literally everything. Everything
know.
that we use is at one point been animal tested.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, but I try to use products that are cruelty free.
okay. Doesn't
So-
mean that they don't do that.
I know, but it just
I mean,
made-
like, you got
I
to think
just-
like,
I
But they
just-
also test on people.
well, Brandon, I don't think that they're going to put rods in their people's heads to block dopamine.
But they give people drugs, unknown drugs.
Okay.
That's called the
Very similar, but no.
Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to make a point to say that I was sad for the rats and mice. So
Okay.
continue.
There you go. There you go. R.I.P. rats. So he talks about
Remy.
Rest in peace, rats.
Jesus. He talks about an experiment in 1954 with neuroscientists James Olds and Peter Milner, as they ran experiments that revealed the neurological processes behind cravings and desires. By implementing electrodes in the brains of rats, the researchers blocked the release of dopamine. To the surprise of the scientists, the rats lost all will to live. They wouldn't eat, they wouldn't have sex, they didn't crave anything. Within a few days, the animals died of thirst. So basically, without dopamine, without any desire to act, basically the rats were just like,
Go ahead.
no, please.
No, I was
You were
just gonna-
gearing up.
Yeah, I know, because then basically without dopamine, it overrides your basic instinct for survival.
Well, you have. I think what he's saying is that you have no desire to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, without that dopamine release in your brain, you
Your
just
brain
have.
doesn't tell you to drink water.
Yeah, there's no really reward. There's no stimuli.
Yeah, because like when you drink a nice cold ice cup of
Feels
water,
really good.
it's satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want to say.
There you go. It says in follow-up studies, the scientists also inhibited the dopamine-releasing parts of the brain, but this time they squirted little droplets of sugar into the mouths of the dopamine-depleted rats. The little rat faces lit up with pleasurable
Aw.
grins with the tasty substances. Even though dopamine was blocked, they liked sugar just as much as beforehand. They just didn't want it anymore. The ability to experience pleasure remained, but without dopamine, desire died. And without desire, action stopped. Basically, what he's saying is that without the dopamine release, without that satisfactory feeling, you really aren't going to get any habits formed. You have to be excited to do a habit. And I
Yeah.
think what he's trying to do is he's trying to find examples for you to make that habit formed through desire.
Yeah, because if you don't want to do it, then it's just like there's no point.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I highlighted this bottom part. I don't know why I did though. Okay, so basically he talks about dopamine-driven habits, things like that, looping it in your everyday thing. He says, for years, scientists assumed dopamine was all about pleasure, but now we know it plays a central role in many neurological processes, including motivation, learning, and memory, punishment and aversion, and voluntary movement. When it comes to habits, the key takeaway in this is this. Dopamine is released not only when you experience pleasure, but also when you anticipate it. Gambling addicts have a dopamine spike right before they place a bet, not after they win. Cocaine addicts get a surge of dopamine when they see the powder, not after they take it. Whenever you predict that an opportunity will be rewarding, your levels of dopamine spike in anticipation. And whenever dopamine rises, so does your motivation to act.
Mm-hmm. I can.
And that, you know, that part resonates, right? Because you get really excited. You're like, you get stoked, right? On that thrill, on that chase.
Oh,
yeah,
I was just
as a
thinking
gambling
with the
addict, I mean, it's like every time you push the button, you want to win. And I totally get that. Mm-hmm. But you know what? You also get a rush for winning too. So
yeah, but I think what he's saying is that the rush to like that you might win is more.
Oh yeah, that's
ecstatic.
what keeps you from.
Yeah, that's what keeps you going.
Mm-hmm.
That's what keeps your motivation and your habits there. What's up?
Well, I was just because mine's on the other part.
Yes.
So it's just more like because like you see it and you're like, damn, I know what's about to come out.
Yeah.
And then you do it and then you're just like, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. And he says, interesting, the reward system that is activated in the brain when you receive a reward is the same system that is activated when you anticipate a reward. This is one reason that anticipation of an experience can often feel better than the attainment of it. As a child, thinking about Christmas morning can be better than opening the gifts. As an adult, daydreaming about upcoming vacation can be more enjoyable than actually being on vacation. Scientists refer to this as the difference between wanting and liking.
True. I thought that was interesting because a lot of times to me, planning and looking forward to a vacation is almost more fun than actually being on one.
Really? See, I think it's maybe the way I plan for things.
You don't plan.
I don't plan, so I always have a good time on vacation.
See, I enjoy Christmas better than actually opening up gifts because it's
interesting
like,
that part resonated.
Yeah, like today's just Christmas. It's like, cool. Like, let me go 25 more days and I'll just enjoy Christmas. But it's more like the build up to it. It's like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. You want Christmas more than you like Christmas.
Yes, 100%.
You know.
By the way, I had to remind Brandon that we are doing Christmas this year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bust out our Hanukkah candle.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It says, basically, he kind of follows up the difference between wanting and liking. He says, your brain has far more neural circulatory allocated for wanting rewards, than for liking them. It says, the wanting centers in the brain are large, and the wanting centers in the brain are large. The brain stem, the nucleus accumbens, the ventral I'm not going to read all these scientific shit.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I was reading it. I'm like, these are some big words.
Yeah, you're like, I can't wait for him to read it.
Yeah.
It says, the fact that the brain allocates so much precious space to the regions responsible for craving and desire provides further evidence of the crucial role these processes play. Desire is the engine that drives behavior. Excuse me, I can't read anymore. Every action is taken because of anticipation that precedes it. It is the craving that leads to the response. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. So basically what you're saying is there's some sort of desire that dopamine release that keeps people motivated. But I find that very conflicting when it comes to making habits. I don't want to make a habit because it's like exciting or, you know, the anticipation or wanting. I want to make a habit to better my like overall existence. Yeah. You know, so like I'm not.
The thing is that with him, I've noticed he's not a really big fan of willpower.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe he's targeting people who have the lack thereof. Because I think people with high willpower are able to kind of make these habits without having to read his book. And I think maybe he's catering to people who are just a little gun shy when it comes to that kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Well, maybe your satisfaction of actually doing a habit is your dopamine.
What was it one more time?
Maybe like the simple fact that you have that willpower and you're like, I'm going to make this, you know.
Yeah. Well, I see. I'm a big fan of like improving, right? So I like the steps, the process and things like that. Yeah, I'm very, what's the word?
Structured?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So basically he also implies this temptation into working out on the page 109 at the very top. He was also employing temptation buildings to make his exercise habits more attractive. Temptation bundling works by linking an action you want to do with an action you need to do. The Burns case, he basically talks about this scientist guy who hardwired his cardio bike into his Netflix, and the only time he would be able to watch Netflix if he was pedaling on his bike. I just don't think these make for good habits.
No, it's the way I look at it, and I don't mean to insult anybody, but it's a lazy habit.
Not so much lazy, but I feel like there's better ways to structure your habit making. Yeah. Right. I mean, because he killed it on chapters 1 through 5, and then he kind of was like, just make it sexy. Like, okay, but like, sometimes reading or, waking up early, how are you supposed to make that sexy? How are you supposed to get a dopamine release by waking up early? Not very many people like it.
That's
So how do
the
you make it attractive? How do you find that want or that desire?
And maybe that's why he's saying right here is like that he's putting his Netflix into riding a bike. So it's like you kind of have to do something with that. Like I wake up early, I make breakfast, or like I wake up early, I go for a walk. I mean, it's not making it sexy. It's just also adding something into said habit.
But that's habit stacking. That's what he talked about on chapter 6.
Then
right?
why would he say? That's I don't know.
And he even talks. He even combines habit stacking right over here on page 110. Let's see what it says. It says you can even combine temptation bundling with BJ Frog's habit stacking strategy we discussed on chapter 5. I said 6 to create set of rules to guide your behavior. The habit stacking plus temptation bundling formula is after I, and then in parentheses current habit, I will in parentheses habit I need. So
Yeah.
that'd be like if you already formed a habit, then you need to do another habit. It doesn't make any sense.
No, well, it's just like
Because I don't like the idea of tricking myself to do something by lying and saying that I'm going to do it for different reasons. I don't want that dopamine release out of like deceit.
Well, I just don't think it's a long-term habit because you can only lie to yourself for so long.
Mm-hmm.
You can only deceive yourself. You can, it's like trying to, I just don't think that's a long-term change of lifestyle.
And I think it's like you say, it's an easy fix. He puts a couple of examples down at the very bottom. It says, if you want to read the news, but you need to express more gratitude, after I get my morning coffee, I will say one thing I'm grateful for that happened yesterday. Need. It just doesn't make any sense. Like you've already got the formula to make good, successful habits. Why complicate things?
yeah.
And he says, if you want to check Facebook, you need to exercise more. It says, after I pull out my phone, I will do 10 burpees need. After I do 10 burpees, I will check Facebook want. Like
He doesn't like social media very much.
Yeah, I can see why though. I mean, apparently it's just as dangerous as fighting a mammoth.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook is.
And he says, the hope is that eventually you'll look forward to calling these 3 clients or doing 10 burpees because it means you get to read the latest sports news or check Facebook. Doing the things you need to means you get to do the things you want to do. We begin this chapter by discussing supernormal stimuli, which has heightened versions of reality that increase our desire to take action. Temptation bundling is one way to create heightened versions of any habit by connecting it with something you already want. Engineering a truly irresistible habit is a hard task, but this simple strategy can be employed to make nearly any habit more attractive than it would be otherwise.
See, an example for that is vegetables. Right?
Sure.
So when I started eating vegetables, like
Okay.
I was 24,
Mm-hmm.
because I was kind of a bad kid.
You were a good kid.
Okay, I was a bad kid. And when I started eating vegetables, what I did was I would eat my vegetables first.
Yeah.
And then I would satisfy my reward as
Sure.
whatever the main course
So this
was.
this can be pretty applicable to you then.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's like, hey, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something else. So mine
Mhm.
was like, if I eat these vegetables, I'm going to save the best stuff for last, and then I'm going to fucking eat that. So
Okay.
it's like,
Do you still have to do that with your vegetables?
no, I fucking just destroy them.
So, how would this compare to chapter 5 when or maybe the previous chapters when you talk about your identity? So like would somebody who has to struggle to eat their vegetables who would enjoy chocolate after be somebody who would identify as a healthy person?
But it really wasn't even a struggle. It was more because I wanted to do it. Because that was when I started working out.
Sure.
So I was like, I needed to do this to help me better.
So you identified as a weightlifter.
Yeah.
More than you had a want or a
Oh,
need.
100%, yeah.
Right. So like I feel like this chapter right here conflicts really a
see
lot
yeah.
with some of the other things that he had mentioned.
Yeah.
Because the first couple of chapters were all empowering, right? It was like, be this identity, be who you want to be, small gradual changes. And then he's like, hey, lie to yourself, or not lie to yourself, but hey, trick yourself into wanting
I
to
see
do
where
these
you're
things.
That's a
going
good
with
point.
that.
Instead of wanting to do it yourself.
Yeah, right. Like I feel like he kind of like, you get all this momentum. You're like, all right, I'm going to find this identity. I'm going to start habit stacking. I'm going to put my structure, I'm going to put my routine. And he's like, do it, but do it because there's something better at the end of the line.
Instead of just doing it just to do it.
Do it because it's something that you're going to need.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You're doing it for a certain reason instead of a reason for yourself.
Yeah. Well,
Do you think that you lose your identity when you start doing that kind of stuff?
I think you compromise, right? I feel like if you're like, well, if I'm going to after I do the dishes, I'll watch TV. But if you were like, you know what, if I identify as somebody who has a clean house, I would want the dishes to be clean. And
Yeah.
I think
you
that
wouldn't have to trick yourself.
you wouldn't have to
into it.
trick yourself, right? Because you're like, hey, listen, I'm gonna set up a schedule. I'm gonna set up a routine that after I'm done eating dinner, I'm gonna go straight to the sink and I'm gonna do the dishes because that's what somebody who has a clean house has.
That's right.
And then after that, then you're like, oh well, I've got a clean house. I might as well enjoy watching TV. So I feel like this chapter was a little conflicting in a lot of ways, and I don't necessarily agree with it. Not to say that I don't think it might not resonate with some people. I just found it to be conflicting with the other chapters that he had been writing.
Well, I had a real conflicting time with him last week, so
Yeah, that's what I heard.
you know. But
Well, and that's also kind of a cool thing about this book, right? Is we're not taking every single page as if it's like the gospel. You know,
we're not like the little things in Toy Story where we're like the claw.
Yeah. I'm just saying that we're skeptics, and I think that we're looking at it through a very critical lens.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool to dissect it in this way instead of, because I'd hate to be on the podcast and be like, this book is amazing. James Clear, everything he writes is,
Perfect.
is perfect. Yeah. This is how you fix your life. We're like, no, listen, hey, there's some chapters that I get. There's some chapters I don't get.
Mm-hmm.
This one was a miss. It didn't resonate too much.
Mm.
He spent 5 pages talking about animal instincts and over stimuli. And like, I get it, but I feel like we could have very easily spent those 5 pages setting up better examples.
Yeah, because you know what? Those little baby chicks didn't develop a habit. That's their instinct.
It's instinct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
lot like, after animals, like let's say after a deer or after a giraffe is born, they instinctively know how to walk within a couple of minutes.
Yeah, like gazelles know how to run.
It's not a habit
Yeah.
formed, right? You're not a giraffe. You're a giraffe. You fall 5 feet and all of a sudden you're like, well, if I get up, I'll get to eat grass. There's not that thought process, right? So I think it's hard to associate that kind of animalistic behavior with habits forming.
Yeah, it's just the natural instinct of if I don't get up, I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
videos of that happening. It's brutal.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, no,
Well,
I'm
no.
still getting over the mice and the rats.
Yeah, but no, it's just the truth. Because, like gazelles can run a few seconds after they're born because if not...
They have to, or else they're dead. It's an adaptive trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just passed down animal instincts. It's not...
Did you say anal instincts?
Passed down animal instincts.
Okay.
No, he did say animal. Yes. So I just...
What are the
yes.
odds? Mom takes your side.
Well, because you need to open up your ears.
Start pronouncing the m more.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Robert, I know that you've you listened to the podcast, but Brandon and I played the best friend game.
Do you remember your answers?
No.
I do.
So,
So
what was our homework assignment?
These are the...
these are the questions.
Yeah.
I remember the
Well,
answers.
do you remember? You don't remember your answers.
I remember
No,
the
I do.
answers
You remember?
completely.
You remember both of your answers?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that was one.
Okay, yeah,
That
yeah.
was one
okay,
woolly.
yeah.
That was
Okay.
one woolly mammoth glare you gave me.
I just
there.
want to make sure that we all are all doing what we were assigned.
How many best friends do you have?
How many did you say?
We said about 7. 5 on...
We went down to 5.
It was 5?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, let's.
I don't
yes.
trust you.
So remember how I asked literally seconds ago if you guys remember your answers, and
Yeah.
you both said with overwhelmingly yes.
Well,
It
And
was
then you guys
between-
gave me a
it was
fucking look
between 5
because
and
I
7.
asked you guys to go back and find your answers, and
I
you
don't remember
guys
you saying
didn't.
that.
You only asked me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
what
don't-
happened to that?
It was
I
5,
didn't do it.
Even after the
5 to 7.
Yes.
Brandon, you cannot ballpark 5
no,
to 7.
because
No,
we
we
remember
did.
talking about it in discussion when you weren't here. We said 5 to 7, and if
Do I have to pull up the answers right now?
No, because
No.
we said if it was down, it was down to 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What is this, a team?
yes. Okay. So Robert, how many best friends do you have?
Stranger, Jason,
Fuck.
X,
Yes.
Arian,
Mm-hmm.
and Stranger, Jason, X, Arian. I'm missing one.
Andrew,
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
Andrew. Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah, I knew it was
5.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I said.
So we knew you.
All right.
Okay.
I didn't realize it's a fucking committee.
Yes. Robert, what's your biggest pet peeve?
People are late.
We got that one right.
What Game of Thrones character are you?
Khal Drogo.
Who? No, which
Hodor.
one? Which one's that guy?
Khal
He,
Drogo
he
in
was
the beginning.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
the dude who threw gold on that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Hodor.
That guy's badass. Not Hodor.
You know what's funny is instantly we both said
Yeah,
Hodor.
I remember because I listened to the podcast and I was like, you motherfuckers.
Okay, now this one we didn't have the answer for, So I'm curious as to what the answer is on that one.
What is it?
But what's your favorite holiday?
4th of July.
Really?
Yep.
See, because it triggers me. That's like the one holiday that I don't care for.
Yeah. Oh, well, way to shit on my holiday.
Who's your role model?
Papa.
Yep.
Yep, we got that one. What's your favorite condiment? We split on that one.
What did you guys answer?
I said mustard.
No, I said
Mustard?
mustard. You said tapatio.
Oh, I did say tapatio.
Stop. Listen, you guys can't say with certainty that you remember the answers
Because
when
I
you've
do.
gotten everyone
we
wrong.
just said.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
I
tapatio.
said-
That's what I said.
Yeah.
But you like mustard
But it
on
was
your hot
tapatio.
dogs.
What? Okay, Mom, how often am I eating hot dogs?
I just remember.
You remember me putting mustard on one hot dog one time and you were like, that's it. He must love that.
It's like Frank's red hot sauce. Puts that shit on everything, but it's tapatio.
Tapatio, it's the best hot sauce in the world.
It really is, dude.
I showed
So-
Natasha a picture of it yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I was like, I'm going to dress like that for Halloween.
A tapatio bottle?
Tapatio guy.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, no, Brandon got that one. I said mustard. He said
Because you put
tapatio.
that
I
shit
don't
on
even
everything.
own mustard.
It's in the refrigerator.
Okay.
So you do own it.
Apparently,
So you don't know your own answers.
it's Tapatio.
You just said mustard.
I said I don't even know if we own mustard.
Before tapatio, you would have said.
Before
Sriracha.
Tapatio? No, I never ate sriracha before.
Yeah,
then.
you did.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You
No,
had
I'm
sriracha
thinking-
on Little Caesars all the time.
When you were in
Be-
junior high school, what was your favorite condiment?
I don't know. That was fucking 20 years ago.
That's a good
It was
point.
mustard.
I don't think so.
How many hot dogs do you think I'm fucking eating?
You
We had a lot of hot dogs.
We did. We were poor. You ate a lot
And
of
even
hot
then,
dogs.
I remember putting mustard and Tapatio on my hot dogs.
You just said that you don't remember eating hot dogs.
Yeah.
I said, but I don't. I said, how many times do you think I'm eating hot dogs?
Apparently a
All
lot
the
because
time.
you put.
Mustard and
Dude,
Tapatio.
I just had chili dogs the other day.
Yeah.
And I had chili fries.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Did you put Tapatio on it?
No.
Was it good?
It was so good.
Yeah.
I told Natasha when I'm coming to England, I'm going to bring the taco shop down the street. It's got a bunch of single packet Tapatio.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring a bunch.
I say you should.
hmm
Okay. Who's your favorite actor?
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You got that one.
Who'd you say?
This was me.
Well, it was either no. Yeah.
I didn't know that one. Brandon knew that
Yeah,
one.
Robin Williams.
Yep. What's your favorite type of candy?
Reese's.
I said fucking Baby
I
Ruth
knew
because
that.
I remember Barbu always got you Baby Ruths.
She did get me Baby Ruth's a lot.
That's what-
She also got me giant bags of Reese's, which is why I was like 40 pounds overweight.
Well, she also got me giant bags of fucking Skittles.
Which is,
Well, you had cavities really bad.
That's a good
yeah.
point.
Dude, she gave me Reese's, and then I remember eating fucking pounds of tuna.
Yeah. Mine was just sourdough bread and
It was
sausage.
like, what was the, what's that French meal where they like stuff a goose full of bread and shit? I forget what it's called.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could. But the thing is with Barbu, she used to drown that tuna in mayonnaise.
Yep, it was mostly mayonnaise, which is weird because I fucking hate mayonnaise.
Now you know why.
Yeah, and I'd eat it with Fritos, and,
Yeah.
and I'd chase it with Reese's and grape soda.
Yep. Well, dude, she just did sourdough toast and sausage.
I had rolls on rolls.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know how. I don't know.
Yeah, but the cool thing is that.
Oh, it's not cool, Mom.
Yes.
There's no defending how uncool
Yeah.
that is.
Why? She loved you.
Yeah, but okay, so I was overweight. I
You
had
were-
hair and a bob cut, and I wore shirts that were too short. I was wearing a medium that was barely covering my belly button. I wore shorts that were too big because that was the trend.
Yeah.
I had a bob cut, and I had chubby cheeks and rolls. I had man tits. So explain to me again how my grandma made me cute.
I said it was cute that she loved you so much that she cooked for you individually.
It's cute in theory, sure, but like a salad or
No,
like
because you were not going to have any salad.
Yeah,
You were
no.
a growing boy.
oh, I was growing. I was growing out.
Yeah. Dude, I wore too big of stuff and I was tiny.
Yep. Well, because
Yeah.
back in the day, right, that was the trend
Yeah,
is to wear
Dickies.
I was wearing really
Yeah.
baggy Dickies and then like short shirts, or tight shirts. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh, tight means small, and so I wore like literally size small shirts with 36 waist shorts, and had hair that looked like you would want to speak to a manager. And
At a Kmart.
at a Kmart and man boobs.
Remember when you bought a T-shirt?
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
I bought 3 shirts that I was supposed to get a large.
Oh, I remember.
But I bought them in child
yes,
small.
I remember. It was Iron Man, it was Ninja Turtles, and it was one other one.
It was Power
And they were
Rangers.
literally
Rangers.
would have fit a cat.
Yeah, but I still wore it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I threw it out like 2 years ago.
Dude, I would have still worn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. So, Robert. Go ahead,
no,
Brent.
it was
No,
yours.
no, your turn.
If you stubbed your toe, what would you yell?
I'd blame one of you two.
See, I said you would say mommy.
No, fuck
I
that.
said, God damn it.
I would say, God damn it, and I would blame one of you two.
Yeah, that's
Like
a
that
good
time
point.
I lost my jacket and I thought you both stole it.
And it was in your
It was
drawer.
in my dresser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you always blamed us for shit.
I blame
You
you for
still
stubbing my
do.
toe. Yeah.
Yeah. I can literally be in the other room and something go wrong. And then, do you remember when you used to lock Brandon outside
Yeah.
when you were playing a video game
It
because
happened
you
like
would
once, though.
You kicked me out.
It happened once.
And I didn't even.
You were already
you
outside.
distracted yourself.
You were already outside, and it was like, it literally was no skin off your teeth.
Oh, yeah. No, we would have to sneak into the kitchen because you were playing in the front room. And then you wouldn't even know we were there. You would die. You get mad. You throw the controller. And then whoever was standing in the kitchen, that's whose fault it was.
100%.
I understand. Like, you know what? It's applicable to this fucking podcast because it's like I'm locked in. I got one fucking goal, and then here's you two. Meow, 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 meow. How many fucking times do you need to walk in front of the TV?
Okay. You have to use words.
What?
Okay, when you're setting up, the
Okay.
only thing you do is be like, tap your microphone. So we tap it. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know what?
Nope.
2
Don't-
seconds later, you're huffing and puffing because
Nope.
you're ready
You
to...
are painting this in such a favorable light for you both. You have to admit that every single time your butts hit the chair, there's this imaginary timer off in your head that as soon as it hits down to 0, you have to get up and run around and do something that you could have very
And
well
if
done
you
the
were
30, 40
using
minutes before.
words-
What words do you need me to say?
Okay, guys, I'm getting close to getting this ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right, Brandon, wouldn't that be helpful?
so when we sat down and you were like, no, I'm going to change.
Because I was wearing orange and the cabinets behind me have an orange tint, and you said I was my own green screen.
You were
and
your own
I
green
didn't
screen.
want to just look like a giant head floating on the video.
Listen, you've lived in this house long enough to know what the color of these cabinets are.
And you have known me well enough to tell that if you tell me I look like a giant green screen, I'm going to go change.
What do you think?
Hodor.
Pass.
Okay, Robert, if you could switch places with the president, a celebrity, or famous athlete for 1 year, which would you choose?
President.
Yep.
Yep, that's what we
I throw
said.
the athlete and the celebrity in jail.
Yes.
Do your own fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
So who got more right?
Think.
we about 50-50, I
Yeah.
think. I mean, what one of us didn't know the other one did, and what the other one didn't know the other one did.
And then some of them we would collaborate.
Yeah,
Yes.
it seemed like it was more of a community effort than it was who knew more about me.
Well, you know, it's all about.
Well, here you go, Robert. So
Why don't you read the back?
so we're going to ask the questions on the back, and you about us, and we'll see how well you know us.
What? Well,
Okay.
how about you let me fucking read that if they're about you both, you fucking scumbags? Give me this. Jesus. Here, I'll read the question out loud and you tell me things about me as I read more questions to you. Or you can give me the fucking cards and I can just do it all myself.
Wow.
Jesus.
The dopamine is not running in this one.
All right. It says, now am I going to do one and one or is this a
No,
community
I
thing?
want you're going to.
You want me to answer both of yours? So like
Yes.
you want me to ask the question, answer yours, answer Brandon?
Yes, and then we'll tell you whether or not you're
Okay. It
correct.
says, do I listen to whole albums, playlists, or that top 50 chart? Mom, you listen to Spotify, so it's a playlist. Brandon, you listen to like the world's weirdest music.
No, I don't.
You definitely do not listen to whole albums. You definitely don't listen to the top 50 charts. You both are playlists.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't
I-
listen to whole albums. Some albums suck dick, and I'm just like, oh, sorry.
Wow, be more aggressive.
I was just saying, dude. Some songs don't slap the way that they should, so I just pick and choose.
Great.
So I'll say playlist, but I have been enjoying listening to the records that I've been finding when I'm thrifting.
Okay,
So-
what do you think you listen to more? Do you think you listen to Spotify or do you think you
Oh,
listen to
Spotify
records?
for sure.
So it's a playlist.
Yes.
Okay.
Arguing with the answer that he already knows.
Sure.
Okay, continue.
What's the first thing I would buy if I won the lottery? Mom, you would buy a lot more clothes. And
Yes.
Brandon, you would buy a car.
I'd buy a bike.
See, I was thinking I would buy a ranch and then I would have.
That's the first thing you would buy is a ranch.
Yes.
So you win the lottery. They say, here's you millions of dollars. And you say, do you want to go get a car? You said, no, I'm going to buy a ranch.
Yes, because I'll have like animals running all around.
Do you buy a ranch without any animals or with animals?
I think I'm going to buy them without, and then I'll hand pick my animals.
Where's the ranch going to be at?
I'm thinking Wyoming.
Have you ever been to Wyoming?
No, I have not.
Do you like the cold?
That's questionable.
You also like, I think, coyotes? Or like
I don't know, but
What?
there's.
Isn't there wolves?
There's wolves in Wyoming.
That's what
There's
I
also
thought.
bears
Yeah.
Oh,
and moose. And there's
Okay,
like
well-
9 feet of snow every night.
okay. So maybe
And
like.
they beat you.
Okay, I won the lottery, so maybe somewhere up in Malibu.
Okay.
Okay.
I like going Malibu.
Excluding work, family,
And I
and
would buy
friends. Excluding work, family, and friends, what do I actually care about the most? Brandon, you care about Pam the most.
Yes.
Mom, you care about... I would say... What do you care about the most about? Hey, will you stop? I'm thinking.
Well, I know it's like dead air.
I guess your social media.
You are absolutely
Yeah.
correct. Because they're like my family.
There you go.
You know, I really care for them.
This one says snuggle, marry, kill. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. I would reckon these would be the same for both of you.
Yeah.
So you'd kill Mark Zuckerberg,
Mm-hmm.
you would snuggle Jeff Bezos, and you would marry Elon Musk.
All day.
Sure.
Jeff Bezos, I think he's bald. Do you
Yes.
like bald guys?
You know what? I don't mind bald guys.
Do you like hair?
Huh?
Do you like hair on people's heads?
I don't mind hair on people's heads.
Do you have a preference to anything?
You know what? I'll just go back and forth between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, but we're different.
What do you mean you go
I
back
would-
and forth?
Yeah, I would marry Elon Musk. He's a smart guy. Plus, he
Yeah.
seems really nice.
He's South African too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
then yeah, I'll marry him.
Okay. On a scale from 1 to 5, how much do I care about my social media image? 5 being the most. Mom's 5, Brandon's 1.
What?
How often do you care about your social media image?
I am who I am.
So 1 amount.
yeah, I am who I
Okay,
am.
Right. So I was right.
Yeah, you're actually pretty spot on these,
Yeah.
but continue.
What are my favorite puppies? Kittens or sloth? Wait, what are my favorite? Puppies, kittens, or sloths? Brandon's sloths, mom's puppies.
I like sloths.
Mhm,
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking adorable with their huge ass eyes.
What Friends character am I?
Oh,
Brandon, you are definitely Joey.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
And Mom, you are Phoebe.
yeah, I was just
I'll
thinking
take
that.
that.
Mom's Phoebe.
Mhm.
Which one am I?
You're
You're
Ross.
Chandler.
Chandler. Although
You are very Ross.
Natasha's aunt says I sound like Ross.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just really. Yeah. No, I would say Chandler more.
I
because-
definitely I vibe with Chandler.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Describe my style in 1 word. Mom's, yours is.
Be nice.
I'm trying to be nice.
Remember, Natasha listens to this.
I know Natasha listens to this.
Has she ever heard us talk all how like we talk to each other?
She listens to the podcast.
But
She knows
does-
us very well.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
What do you mean,
sometimes
us yelling at each other.
Yeah.
I mean, she listens to the podcast, Brandon.
Do we yell at each other that much on here?
I get pretty close.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
Well,
but it's
when
nothing like
he's
off.
talking to her, we'll like he and I will start talking, and she hears how we talk to each other.
Hmm.
So finish answer.
Mom, yours would be eccentric.
I'll take it.
Brandon, yours would be trying.
Trying what?
That's your style.
Describe my style. Fuck you. I don't even try. I just put clothes on. I don't give a fuck.
There you go. What's my least favorite place I've ever traveled to? Brandon's is Tijuana. Mom's,
For reasons.
Yeah, yours it would be. You don't travel though.
I already know the answer to that one.
Yours would be. I want to say. Is it in California? Or out?
Mhm.
It's
No, yeah, it is.
Okay.
We were all together.
We were?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about fucking
Yeah.
the.
that fucking place in Yosemite.
Yes.
Yeah.
The great campsite you guys had a hissy fit about.
Yes.
The one that was next to the fucking.
It wasn't that bad. It was next to an
It-
auto body shop.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. It was a fucking like little river,
It was a creek.
and the dirty ass water touched my butthole.
Okay. It was a toilet, Brandon.
It was
first
some
of all,
dirty water.
First of all, it's literally there to just flush things away. It doesn't.
It don't care.
It attacked him.
Brandon, you had been camping for 5 days. If anything, it did your butthole a fucking favor.
I don't think so.
So yeah, that was like my least place.
That was your least favorite place to travel? That place was amazing.
Nope.
I bought a shirt there. I loved it.
Yep. Nope.
And they had actually the only thing that was really cool about that place was the cats.
The lady in there was nice.
The lady
Only
was
to
super
you.
nice.
What was the
She was
what
not nice to
again?
me.
What was the problem? It had a nice, even place to sleep. It had a babbling brook to
It
fall
was
you
a
asleep.
dirty
It was
parking
5
lot.
minutes away from one of the best restaurants in the area.
It was a dirty parking lot next to a mechanic's shop.
And we slept on dirt.
Brandon, what
didn't
do you
sleep
think
there.
camping is?
Remember, we drove all the way
Designated
to.
dirt areas.
That's what the fucking camping site is.
I don't believe it.
It's like going to Target, taking out a bag of cat sand, shaking it out onto the parking lot, and being like, "Here's your campsite."
I don't understand what more you guys need in order to go camping.
A
Trees.
5-star hotel at that point, which we did, and I
Trees.
You
washed
guys
my
you
butt.
drove an extra 3 hours to fucking Fresno to a hotel.
That was the
And
best
that's
night.
also when we ran into that homeless guy that was kind of
try to eat you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next one?
The last one is, what's the best purchase I've made in the last year? Mom, yours would be the last year. So that would be April of last year.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
I buy a lot.
Is it your
You
car?
buy a lot of shit. No, she
I
didn't buy
got
that
that
a year
the
ago.
year prior.
I don't know, your computer? No, your camera?
Yeah, we'll go with my camera.
Yeah.
That one.
You use it a lot.
Yeah, I do. I use it every day.
Brandon, yours would be that you bought.
Your computer
I would say
chair?
your computer, but we bought that for your birthday.
Yeah. If anything, just the chair, dude. That chair rocks.
Chair's pretty sick.
So sick.
Yeah, I would say your chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my motorcycle was a year and a
It
half.
was a year and a half. Yeah,
Yeah.
it squeaked by.
It's crazy that I've been riding for a year and a half.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
I like your hair. I like that, Brendan.
So do I.
Did you get those other things?
No.
Okay.
What other things?
I was going to get like other headbands
I
just
have
to
more.
keep pushing my hair back.
Why not?
I don't know. It was either that or I cut it.
Why don't you put it in a ponytail? That'd be sick.
No.
Okay. Or think about it for a little bit.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
And
I
then just
like it
pushing
like that.
back like this.
Yeah? Have you done that before?
Nope.
So this is your first time?
Yes.
Okay.
It's nice.
It's new to
see
me.
It's nice to see your face.
It's new to me.
Okay.
So I just got to get used to it. Yeah, I think like it was just kind of weird having, not like weird, but just like, I don't know. Because I don't want to wear a hat anymore because I feel like wearing a hat just kind of like, it's just too much with my hair.
Sure.
So I just got to do
But
something
sometimes I
different.
think with the hat you kind of hide under it because it's kind of like
Yeah.
you pull the brim down a little bit and you kind of hide and now your world can see your beautiful.
And if you don't
face.
like it, just cut it. Just cut your hair.
No.
Okay.
You
or
were
don't.
talking about that the other day.
I know.
The fuck?
What?
What do you mean, what?
Because I'm going back and forth if I want to do it or not.
It's just hair. It took you what? How long did it take you to grow it out?
Like 6 months.
See, it takes nothing.
All right. But do I want to spend $40?
Wait, are you talking about? I have clippers in the bathroom.
I'm not going to let you cut my hair.
Why don't you come with us to get our haircut with Ken?
I'm not bougie.
Brandon, we get cut
It's
at a
in a
normal
barber
barber
shop.
shop.
You guys have to fly.
We
I
get-
just got to drive 5 minutes.
Okay, that's
Well,
not
if you
Brandon.
wanna
Being in an
go
airplane is not
because
bougie.
Going to San Francisco to get your haircut is bougie
It's
as
not
fuck.
because it doesn't cost us very much money.
And I have a credit.
Bougie.
Do you
Wow.
want to go next time?
No.
Okay.
Just
Robert,
take
just-
me to the $5 haircutter place.
Brandon, you're getting a haircut for $5?
No, dude, it's $25. But I
You
always
just
give
said
a
it was
15
40.
Yeah, I give a $15 tip.
The fuck? That's like $70 tip. Or it's a 70% tip.
She does a good job.
Does she?
She always does a good job.
Okay.
Yeah, so I always like to tip her, tip her well.
Brandon, your haircut is almost just as expensive as our haircut. You know that.
I don't have to fly. I just gotta drive.
Jesus. When's the last time you flew?
To San Francisco.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
What?
You're overdue.
Sorry, I don't travel the world.
Want to come to England with me?
No.
Oh.
I don't want to interrupt your time.
Not this time.
I was like, you fucking.
This trip's
kidding
already
me?
planned, dog.
I'm not gonna third wheel it in this.
Yeah, you ain't allowed. You ain't invited.
Yeah, you'd be
oh,
like,
man.
hi, here's my brother.
That's all right. Do you want to? Natasha's gonna kill me, but do you
No,
want-
don't even say it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
No.
say, did you want to tell Brandon about when I was asking you for a hotel room?
Just tell me later. I don't want it to hurt you.
Who, Natasha or
Yeah,
mom?
Natasha hurts
Yeah, she
you.
scares me.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm on your side.
well, I know. And now she's going to be like, Robert?
Yeah, she's like, you got fucking loose lips, pal.
Yeah, she's like, this is some slanderous shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You should call her on Sunday.
Yeah, we can
Sunday
call her on
morning.
Sunday.
Why?
So you can talk to her. She's got a really cool little accent.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're from another country.
We'll call her on Sunday.
Jesus,
Natasha?
you make things
I'm a
so difficult.
realist.
No, you're not. You're an ass.
I'm a realist.
How are you a realist? Mister, I'm going to dig a fucking mammoth-sized hole.
Not
That's
a mammoth,
real.
A mammoth-shaped hole.
Mammoth-shaped hole.
Up
How
to
else are you
his
going to get the
knees.
mammoth in
With
the
what
hole?
fucking... How are you going to dig a hole?
I'm going to bring a shovel.
You're going to bring a shovel.
Yeah, or make one. I just got to get, a fucking rock.
You're going to make a shovel with a rock.
Shape the rock.
With what?
Another rock.
Brandon, I will give you... pick a dollar amount.
Deja vu.
You go out and you bring me back a shovel by Sunday, and I'll give you any dollar amount you want.
So
But you
you're
have to
telling-
make it
You have
out
to
of
make
a rock.
a shovel out of a rock with another rock.
Yeah, you just got to bash the rock on the other rock.
Okay. Make me a shovel. How much you want? Pick a dollar amount.
You're giving me too little of the time to make it.
$10,000.
You don't even have $10,000.
I do.
I know you do. No, I don't want your money because I know I'm going to win, so I don't want it anyways.
Oh, okay.
Because my artistic
Okay,
skills.
so in reality, how long would it take you to make a rock shovel?
2 hours.
As easiest money you've ever made.
I don't want your money,
Okay.
so I don't want to do it. If you're good at something, don't do it for free.
I'm giving you a lot of money.
I don't want your money.
Well,
Well, you know what, you guys? From the bottom of my heart, I am just, I'm gutted that our family had to experience this, but I'm glad that we got together and did this episode.
yeah.
I will say, but this is dedicated to the loving memory of that fur baby.
Yep.
We'll just, in loving memory,
Piece by piece.
piece by piece.
Yep.
So everybody, we always appreciate you listening. We are going to be having a second podcast coming out this week. So you're listening to this Monday.
Well, yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing bi-weekly. Or no, 2 a week now.
Yeah. So they'll be able to listen to this one on Monday. And then the second one, have we determined what day?
Either Wednesday or Friday.
Okay. Well,
No, let's do Wednesday.
Okay. So we'll start releasing podcasts on Monday and Wednesdays. We love you very much.
Did you tell them the rubric of Wednesday's podcast?
No, I don't know what a rubric is.
So, well, we're going to focus. Mondays are going to be about James Clear's Atomic Habits, and then Wednesdays is going to be more fun, goofy, kind of free-flowing ones.
Okay. But once we're done with this book, we'll just pick another self-help book.
Correct. Yeah. So Mondays will be dedicated for the book club. Wednesdays will be dedicated for the goofy, fun, haha times.
So Trixie Wants a Lot can come back.
Trixie Wants a Lot can come back.
Who was the chick I was? What was her name?
Renona Flower. No, that's
Mimi
Scott
Flowers.
Mimi Flowers.
Mimi
Yeah.
Flowers.
I know.
Yes. And
Yep.
then Richard Butts will come back.
Richard Butts.
Dick Butts.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us all on our social media. I am Gray Hair and Tattoos.
I'm Don't Die Disco on all platforms and Twitch.
And Robert is Robert Pike on Instagram, and Sherbert on YouTube and TikTok. So until Wednesday, how exciting. We will talk to you then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.